Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to be demonstrating how to work through the homework problems for Lab 1. Now, the whole purpose of Lab 1 is just to get you familiar with Excel formatting and some statistical functions that we will be using in class. So I will go ahead and say that for the problems that I am demonstrating, I made up numbers that are different from the ones in your actual assignment. So don't try to copy and paste my numbers because they won't be right. So I do want you to go back and try this again, but I'm going to be working through basically the exact same problems with just different numbers. So this video should be a really good tool if you get stuck. So we'll go ahead and start with number 1. And that one is just asking us to use Excel to complete a table with information regarding Sarah's finances in the month of December. So you can see right here in this paragraph that we get all these numbers of either expenses, starting amounts, or income for the month. So we are going to use Excel to make this table, and then we are going to use the sum function to calculate her remaining balance at the end of the month. Now, I did include an example table for you, so try not to copy and paste that into Excel. I would really like it if you guys could create that table yourself in Excel. It doesn't have to be exactly like that, but I do want you to practice making tables in Excel. So if you have any questions about how to make a table like this in Excel, you can refer to the first video that you were supposed to watch before doing this, which is Beginner's Introduction to Excel. And that walks you through how to do this. So we're going to start by just inputting some information. So I'm going to make up some numbers. We're going to start her with $1,300 in her bank account. Perfect. Okay, so quick little tip about just formatting. If you want a border around your table, you highlight the whole table. You're going to come up here, and then you can pick whichever border you want. All borders is what I chose. It just makes it look a little neater. Second, if you want to add dollar signs to all of your category or all of your cells, you can highlight all of these and then come up here and select the English United States currency right here. And that will go ahead and input this into all your cells so you don't have to keep typing it as you move down. So let's say that she has a $1,200 rent. Now, since that is an expense, we're going to put that in as a negative amount. So let's say her rent is $1,200. You see that dollar sign pops up, and then it puts it in parentheses, which just means it's negative. If you click on it, you can see up here that it shows up as negative $1,200, but in the actual table itself, it shows up in parentheses. Let's say she spent $200, or let's say $125 on groceries, $150 on gas, negative $150 on gas. Let's see, her car payment was $399. She spent $600 on other random things. And then let's say that she received two $1,600 paychecks. Now, one way to do this would just be to do mental math, multiply 1,600 times 2, or use a calculator. But if you don't want to do that and you want to save some time, you can do a simple little Excel function to figure it out for you. So to do that, you can hit equal sign, which means you're about to put a formula in, and then you can type in 1,600 and then an asterisk sign, which is just a multiplication sign in Excel, and then times 2. So that's just equals. This cell equals 1,600 times 2. Hit enter, and then it does the math for you and brings it to 3,200. Now remember, this is income, so that is why it is positive instead of a negative amount. And if you click on the cell itself, you can go up here and you can actually see the formula that you input to get this number. Now, the second part of our question asks us to use the sum function to calculate the remaining money in her account at the end of the month. So to do that, we're going to click on this cell right here, the one corresponding to the remaining money category, and you're going to hit equal. Now to find the sum function, you can just type it in. So start typing it. I already just put S and U in, and sum comes right up. Now you'll see that there's an open parenthesis here. Now, I'll show you two ways in which you can do it. First, and the easiest way, in my opinion, is just to come up here and highlight all of the cells that you're going to be using. So you can see that I've highlighted B2 through B8, and it pops up right here. So I could either do that, or I could just type in what I have right here, B2 and then colon B8. You're going to close your parenthesis. You're going to hit enter, and it does all the math for you, incorporating the positive and the negative amounts, and this is your total right here. Alrighty, so that is how you do question number 1. If you have any questions, let me know, and we're going to go ahead and move on to 2. So our second question is asking us about gym memberships and membership sales for that local gym. Now, the question is asking us to use the product function in Excel to calculate the revenue for each membership category. So for all 4 of these, we're going to calculate the total revenue. So we're going to have to multiply members by monthly price. And then it wants us to use the sum function to calculate the total number of members right here, and then the total number of revenue. So after we've done each of these products, we'll add them all together to get our total revenue. So I went ahead and made up some random numbers over here to use for practice purposes. So we'll start with the product function. Once again, whenever we're going to put a function into Excel, we hit equal sign first. And then once we hit that equal sign, we're going to start to type in our function, which is product this time, which is just multiplying those 2 cells together. So you're going to hit product. That parenthesis opens. Now I'm going to highlight the 2 cells that I want to multiply, which is this cell and this cell. And then once you got those 2 in here, you can see that I'm multiplying B14 by C14. I'm going to close my parenthesis and hit enter. And then once again, I'm going to do that for all the remaining 3. So equal sign, type in product, highlight the 2 that I want, close my parenthesis, and then hit enter. And then we'll do it 2 more times. Product, close the parenthesis, and the last one. There we go. All right, so to calculate now our total revenue, we're going to add all 4 of these categories up. So all 4 for all of the different membership categories. So obviously you could do that with a calculator, but it's much easier to just do it with a sum function in Excel. So you hit equal sign, and this is the same thing that we did in the last problem. You're going to type in sum. Once you got sum, you're going to highlight the 4 revenue boxes, close your parenthesis, and then you have your total revenue for memberships that month. And then the question also asks us to find the total number of members. So we're going to use the sum function again to add up all 4 of these membership categories. So once again, equal sign, sum, and then highlight the 4 categories, close your parenthesis, hit enter, and there you go. All right, moving on to our final problem. This one asks us to input the following sets of numbers into Excel and utilize the appropriate Excel functions to calculate the maximum, minimum, average, and median for each set of numbers. So once again, I made up some different numbers and just put them into an Excel sheet over here to demonstrate. So here are my 2 sets of numbers. We'll start with this one first. Now, all you have to do for this one is you can just input them in a single column and in any order. It doesn't really matter because the Excel functions are going to do the work for us. So first, we're going to find the maximum. And remember, the maximum is just the biggest number in this set of numbers. So to do that, you're going to hit equal sign, and you're going to type in max. And this one, obviously pretty easy to remember because it's just the word and the function, and you will press on max. You will highlight all the cells that you want to include in the function. So you're finding the maximum of out of all of these numbers. So I'm going to highlight A21 through A30. Those are the cells that I'm highlighting. Once they're highlighted, I'm going to close my parenthesis, hit enter, and you will see that the maximum number in this set is 80. And then for minimum, same thing, but just a different function. You will select minimum, highlight all the cells you want to include, and then close your parenthesis and hit enter. And then lastly, we have two more actually. Average, you're going to type in average. So that one's pretty self-explanatory. Highlight, and then that one is just giving you an average of all of those numbers in your set of numbers. And then the last one, we're going to find our median. Highlight them all, close your parenthesis, and hit enter. All right, so all of these right here correspond to this set over here. All right, so I'll do it for you one more time just in case you have any questions. So we'll do the next four for this one over here. We're going to start with that maximum. Remember, we hit max, equal sign first, and then max. Highlight our set of numbers, close your parenthesis, hit enter. Equal sign min, highlight the cells you are including, close your parenthesis, and then hit enter. Equal sign average, highlight them all, hit enter. And then last one, median, hit enter. So these two problems, the last two, A and B of number 3, they're pretty simple. I give you basically the function that you're using right here. So all you have to do is type this in after you hit that equal sign, close your parenthesis, and then it will do the work for you. All right. So that is it for this video. If you have any questions regarding any of the questions in Lab 1, you can just send me an email. My email is right here, sc307@evansville.edu. You can email me with questions, but before you do that, please, watch the whole video and make sure that you do check out these 2 videos before you start the lab. But I guess if you're already watching this, you have done that. So if you have any questions, refer to this video, refer to those 2 videos you were supposed to watch before doing this. I hope you guys have a great day, and let me know if you have any questions.